Welcome to week 9 of Explore the Bible, continuing in the book of Jeremiah. Today we're in Jeremiah 35. I'm just going to tell you it's not a passage that I've spent a lot of time with before, so it's kind of interesting to read this passage. I think there's a great message here that we need to get. It's important for us, okay? Before we look at the passage, be sure and subscribe. Hit the little subscribe button if you haven't already. Like, comment, share it with others. Appreciate it if you'll do that. And if you want to support our ministry, you can go to give.exposedToChrist.com and you can give there to support both the teaching and the mission stuff that we're doing around the world. Go to ExposedToChrist.com to see our website there and the things that we've got going on. All right, let's look at Jeremiah 35 and the Rechabites. He says, I set jars filled with wine and some cups. Now, if you go back and you read the whole chapter, okay, it's not a lot before this, 4 verses, but the Lord tells him to do this. I set jars filled with wine and some cups before the sons of the house of the Rechabites, and said to them, drink wine. Okay, this is not Jeremiah tempting them into rebellion or sin or something like that. This is the Lord's instruction to him because he's using them as an example, as a teaching tool for the rest of the nation. Okay, still in Jerusalem, still under siege by Nebuchadnezzar. But they replied, we do not drink wine, for Jonadab, son of our ancestor Rechab, commanded, you and your descendants must never drink wine. You must not build a house or sow seed or plant a vineyard. Those things are not for you. Rather, you must live in tents your whole life so that you may live a long time on the soil where you stay as a resident alien. Okay, he tells them, we don't drink wine because we were told, we were commanded, never drink wine. Don't build a house. Don't sow seed. Don't plant the vineyard. Right? Live in tents your whole life. This is your life. And they have followed this command. They have listened to what they've been told, and they have done it for their entire existence, right? Their whole lives, they've done this. So, he says, we have obeyed Jonadab. We have obeyed Jonadab, son of our ancestor Rechab, in all he commanded us. So we haven't drunk wine our whole life. We, our wives, our sons, our daughters, also not built houses to live in, don't have vineyard, field, or seed. We've lived in tents, have obeyed and done everything our ancestor Jonadab commanded us. We've done everything commanded to us. However, he says, when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon marched into the land, we said, come, let's go into Jerusalem to get away from the Chaldean and Aramean armies, so we have been living in Jerusalem. Okay, so it said when the armies came and they began to lay siege to the city, we came into town, we came inside the walls, but this is not where we've lived our lives. Okay, so we have done what we were been told our whole lives, right? Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. So God tells Jeremiah, I want you to go, call these people in, set out some wine, and offer it to them. And then he hears their story, right? Then the Lord says to Jeremiah, this is what the Lord of armies, the God of Israel, says. Go say to the men of Judah and the residents of Jerusalem. So I need you, Jeremiah, to go talk to the men of Judah. Go talk to the people in Jerusalem. Will you not accept discipline by listening to my words? This is the Lord's declaration. The words of Jonadab, son of Rechab, have been carried out. He commanded his descendants not to drink wine. They've not drunk to this day because they have obeyed their ancestors' commands. But I have spoken to you time and time again, and you have not obeyed me. Here's the example. He says, this is why I brought these people before you, because I need you to use them to teach the people, right? It says you go to them and you say, why don't you accept discipline by listening to me? I'm the Lord, right? This is Yahweh, holy Yahweh. Why don't you listen to me, right? He says, the words of Jonadab have been carried out. He commanded his descendants, and they haven't drunk to this day. He says, but I have spoken to you time and time again, and you have not obeyed me. So these people listened to their ancestor and did what he told them to. But here, I have spoken to you over and over and over again, and you won't do what I'm telling you to do. You don't obey me. You hear the Lord's frustration with his people, right? That this group of people have done what their ancestor told them to do all along. He said, but my people have heard, they have my words, and they won't do what I'm telling them to. Time and time again, this is over and over, the frustration level that the Lord has. And, you know, you can almost hear the Lord saying, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, right? I mean, he is frustrated with them. Time and time again, he says, I've sent you my servants, the prophets, proclaiming, turn each one from his evil way, correct your actions, stop following other gods to serve them, live in the land that I gave you and your ancestors, but you did not pay attention or obey me. Yes, the sons of Jonadab, son of Rechab, carried out their ancestors' commands he gave them, but these people have not obeyed me. Therefore, this is what the Lord, the God of armies, the God of Israel, says. I will certainly bring on Judah and all the residents of Jerusalem all the disaster I have pronounced against them, because I have spoken to them, but they have not obeyed, and I have called to them, but they did not answer. The Lord says that they followed, but you haven't, and I have spoken to you. Look at this, right? I have spoken to them, I have called to them, they didn't obey, they didn't answer. So he says, I will bring disaster. Judgment is coming. There were a lot of reasons going on there, and it's what was true then is still true now. That we have all kinds of reasons why we don't. We have all kinds of rationalizations for why we think our way is better, or it's smarter, wiser, or more convenient, or will work better, or we have all kinds of reasons why we haven't done what we were told to do, and reasons why we did what we were told not to do. And we've got all of that, right? Still today. And still today, the Lord will call, and we will be busy, and we're occupied doing other things, and we just don't have time for that. Still today, that happens, right? And the Lord's judgment will come. And Israel had gotten to the point where they just didn't think it was going to happen, and they've got prophets still going around telling them, as Nebuchadnezzar is besieging the city and has taken thousands of people captive, he's still got these people saying, hey, it's going to be over here in just a little bit. It's no big deal. The Lord's frustration level has reached, right? Time and time again. You know, I think we, at the very least, when we read this passage, we ought to do some self-examination. What is it that the Lord has said to me time and time again that I have refused? What has the Lord spoken to me about time and time again that I'm still stubborn about? I'm obstinate about, that I'm still in rebellion over, that he has spoken to me many, many times, and I still keep doing it my way instead of his way? What is it that I have still held on to in opposition to him? But to the house of the Rechabites, Jeremiah said, this is what the Lord of armies, the God of Israel, says, because you have obeyed the command of your ancestor Jonadab, and have kept all his commands, and have done everything he commanded you. This is what the Lord of armies, the God of Israel, says, Jonadab, son of Rechab, will never fail to have a man stand before me always. Here's the blessing, right? They would never fail to have someone stand before me. That obedience to the Lord gets blessed, and disobedience gets disciplined. And this is what happens, and we can make all of our reasons and excuses and all of that why. But we need to understand this is reality of walking with the Lord or walking against the Lord. And we may be getting away with it now, but we will not get away with it forever. Right? There is a breaking point with the Lord when his patience has come to an end and his offers are now finished and judgment sets in. Hey, thanks for watching. It's a good passage, and it's a little tough for sure to hear at times, but boy, it's a good passage. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like, comment, share. Appreciate it if you do that. Thank you for teaching. God bless you for teaching. We will see you next time.